Yeah, no, I think it's more about the moment. I think it's more about now. It's about what we've got to do and and how we've got to play. Hopefully, it helps us in the future at some point. But I think it's right now, as I sit here, I think it's a lot about right now.
How would you describe the preparation
for us?
Yeah.
Look, it's been really strong. It's been a good week for us as far as everything goes through the week. We've got certainly we've been able to pick the players that we wanted to pick. We obviously going to train this morning. Everything there hopefully goes okay, and we have a pretty smooth next 36 hours, and we're ready to go for the time the game comes around tomorrow night.
Perfect work for you?
At the end of the game, I'll describe it whether it was perfect or not.
Yeah.
Oh no, look, yeah, we couldn't. We've had a good week. There's no doubt we've had a week that we've prepared well.
You've been involved in a lot of final success before. What's the key to preparing a side to play in a final?
Well, I think it's about enjoying it, being a part of it, and looking forward to it all, and waiting for it almost, and the anticipation of being able to play and play well in those games is, as I said earlier in the week, it's what everyone plays for, is to be a part of the finals, and the boys should be really looking forward to that opportunity.
Is it very different preparing a side this young compared to some of the others you've prepared?
No, this one's. I think this one they've got a little bit of no risk about them. To be honest, they're feeling like they've wanted to get to here, and they've really embraced the opportunity to be here. And I can tell they're excited by it, which is natural. We're going to measure that on what happens at the game a little bit as to how well they've handled it or not handled it. But at the end of the day, it'll be an experience that we need.
What do you mean by no risk?
For us,
yeah.
You can just see that they're not. The consequences haven't probably dawned. They don't. Probably it's an elimination final. That's the part the boys have been able to, I think, keep away from. They've just looked at it as it's a final. It's a great opportunity. It's a chance to go and play at the MCG in September, and they've looked forward to all that. So I think they've been able to keep the elimination part away from their minds a bit.
Is it because they've been on edge for a long time?
Yeah, I think so. I think whole season's been like that for us. We don't feel like it's any different going into this game that it has been going into to round one against Melbourne. It's it's a challenge for us. It's an opportunity for us, and it's one we look forward to.
You went with the 1-0 in the end. What made you swing that way?
I think our most consistent form has been that way, and I think it's been with one ruck and with the ability to help out with Westy or Jacko and to give us that little chop out. It allows us to do what we do well, and that's run pretty hard.
The other big question you've got is Pendlebury or Swan. Last time was Pendlebury. This time.
Yeah, they're not easy. You got Pendlebury, Swan, and Beams is back in the team, and Ball's come back into the team. Look, they're in the elite midfield. We know that. We'd like to think that we're a young, up and coming midfield too, and we look forward to the opportunity. It'll be a little bit of midfield v midfield, and see how it ends up. But we can't afford not to pay attention to any of their players. And Pendlebury and Swan clearly come to mind. They've been in great form, but we just got to make sure that together we're able to handle their whole midfield.
Is your team fully fit, Ken? No niggles, concerns?
No, we're all okay. I mean, we'll make sure this morning, we'll double check and make sure it's because the players that we subbed Colquhoun last week, we'll just make sure that everything's okay. Sam was just sore, so there was no issue. I've got no reason to sit here and say there's any problems. Robbie and Hammer's obviously fine. Robbie we pulled out because he was a little sore last week, so we'll just make sure of that. And Bobby's fine.
And your confidence, are you getting nervous at all individually going into this game?
No, I don't. I probably don't. And myself, and the players. That's what I think. I think we're pretty level at the moment. I think we're in a pretty good space. There's no doubt. But by game time tomorrow night, there'll be a little bit of anxiety. But that should be there every week. That should be there in every game you play, I think, and you should look forward to that.
Do you think the players have heeded your call to embrace every moment this week? Do they feel like they've enjoyed it more than, say, build up to last week's game?
They're certainly enjoyed in the week. There's no doubt about that. They're liking being involved, which is a good thing, and that's what you should want to do. You want to be involved, and and part of enjoying the week is making sure you can perform the best you can too. So that's the next part for them.
It's been in the back of their mind the whole week.
Yep. Yeah, they're a really committed young group. They've been very good all year. We've risen to most challenges. We've got another one in front of us, and we'll take our chances.
What's Jay Shul's been like? I think he tweeted something on Monday morning. It's finals week. It's obviously 10 years. He hasn't experienced it before.
Yeah, he's been good. He's trained really well. I know that with Jay, and you can just tell that he's again at his stage of his career. I suppose the excitement might be a bit more than young blokes. Sounds a bit silly, doesn't it? Ollie Wines might not be quite understanding as Jay Schultz is to what a final is, and Jay's looking forward to his opportunity.
Have you brought in anyone to have a chat to the boys about finals, or called on Kane or Dom?
No, they've done a little bit of themselves. They've talked, amongst themselves, and they understand. I mean, we've got a sprinkling of finals experience, albeit I think we're 300 less games than the Pies, so we're a little bit behind. But now we've got a sprinkling. We've got great players in Dom and Kane, and Travis was there, and so there's enough. Gus, Monfils has been around, so we'll be okay.
Would you consider it an upset if you won?
No,
Can
no.
Leicester-
I think it's we're in the final. It's an elimination final, and we deserve the chance to be there. And I think we've probably caused some people to think we've had some upsets through the year enough, so we'll go into this game thinking and believing that we can play well enough to win.
Can Leicester work with Moore as the bloke who put on Pendlebury? You still thinking that way, or do you think Kane's the better option because of his experience in finals?
Depends who we put on him, who we go with, and what we do. Look, Maury's done it. Maury's done a couple of things good for us. We've got Kane that's certainly done it very well, and we've also used Dom. So we've got options there to do that. And sometimes I think a lot of times you can tend to find that the one you start with is not the one you end with. If they get away, so you can change it up. And the last time that's what happened. Pendlebury got away a little bit early, and then we put Maury to him. And not to, as I said, it's midfield v midfield. It's about Maury having to win the ball as well. So you get your hands on the ball. But there's always a challenge with their good players.
So when you've got two, perhaps three that you've got to keep an eye on, you can't do the total shutdown on all three. Who's going to call the changes? Is that one on your shoulders?
Yeah, that'll be us in the box. That'll be coaches who are making sure that we, because sometimes possessions don't always mean damage. So you've got to make a calculated decision on what's actually going on. 4 possessions can be more damaging than 10. So you've just got to be really alert to who's causing the problems and where the problems are hurting us.
Is that why you went Pendlebury instead of Swan last time?
No, we went with Pendlebury because we think he's an absolute elite player, but we can't afford to go with both. Swanee's been in amazing form, and you've just got to be prepared to back your group against their group, a little bit, and limit some of the other players. And I think last time we went to O'Brien with Kane, so people wouldn't sit there and go, "Oh, Harry O'Brien, you've got Pendlebury, you've got Swan." Sometimes you've got to take some of the ones that you think you've got to be able to have more effect on.
Do they have a weakness that you're trying to exploit?
The Pies?
Yeah.
No, look, they're a really good side. Since we've played them, actually, their form's probably been first class, and in fact equal to the top 4 sides. We know that they're a really strong football side, and that if we don't play anywhere, if we don't get near our best, we're going to be in trouble.
How do you measure how the players are going to be before the game and how you deal with it?
I didn't get that.
How do you measure the players before the game and how you should deal with it?
Well, I suppose until we get to that point, there's going to be... look, I hope that they're excited by the game. That's all I do. I just... and they'll use a bit of energy up thinking about it. Tomorrow's a long day for them, but, look, that's part of the journey. They're the things that, again, you get these experiences, you make the most of them.
It's a line too, Ken. A lot of players trot out to say that there's nothing to lose. You guys got nothing to lose. How does that line sit with you?
We've got plenty to lose.
Yeah.
We want to keep playing. We want to make our season longer and stronger and keep on improving. That's what we want to do. So we lose. We lose the opportunity to play the following week if we don't win this game. Understand it's the end of the football season, so there's a lot to lose.
What have you made of the whole finals build-up here in Adelaide?
Look, it's been quite normal, to be honest. I haven't noticed too much different, and we go again. That's what happens when you work in it. You get consumed by what you've got to do, and that's right. So you don't actually notice too much. So I hope there's plenty of support in Adelaide for Port, and hope all the Port fans, as many as them possible, can get over there and help us and support us. And the ones who are at home here get to enjoy watching their team play again.
A big crowd last week helped you prepare for it?
Yeah, it was good. It was actually a really good experience, albeit we lost the game at the end. But it was a good atmosphere as far as getting ready for a final, I reckon. And this week they'll see the opposite. I think with 45,000 Port fans there last week, we're gonna feel a little bit different. We're gonna understand that if we can make it quiet, that's going to be good.
You can't make it quiet against Collingwood, though, can you?
If you score, you can. I reckon. If you can keep scoring, you can keep.
Run it the other way.
They can. Although they're a great group of their fans. I mean, 80,000. What a number. But they'll be hard work for us. But we'll do our best to keep them as quiet as we can. Then.
Is there something about going back to the G after a long gap that you need to work through?
No, I don't think so. I think it's been okay. Our experience there this year at the start of the year was a pressure game. People don't realise how much pressure I don't think was on us for round 1. against Melbourne. Now, people might sit back now and say, Melbourne had a disappointing year, but for our club, there was an enormous amount of pressure to go into that game. I felt the pressure myself for that game more than I am feeling the pressure to going into this game. I feel like it was, it was more a very significant day for our football club.
So I was just going to say, why do you feel that more then than now?
Why did I feel it more? I think it was a start. We've actually done some really strong stuff this year, and we've earned some respect back in the football world. But going there at the start of that year, this football club was on its knees a bit, and we needed to lift, and a fair bit of pressure on what Keith and David had been put in place, and we wanted to live up to that. That's what we've done all year. We want to live up to what we want to do, and that's to keep going, keep working.
Can I a couple of other issues? Looks like you're going to get your reserves team next year. Are you happy with how that's going to look?
Yeah, look, I don't want to not answer your question too much, other than say I've had a pretty busy week on the finals, and I know I don't think all the details are quite through on everything, but Keith will take care of all that and how it'll come out. And I think there's a members' night Monday night to go through it all. I actually haven't got all the information myself, which sounds a little bit wrong, but I've been a busy week getting ready for a final. So
it's a massive compromise in that it's a massive change for the footy club. It's now clearly going to have a massive AFL focus with a significant cut to its SAFL existence. Are you comfortable with that?
As I said, I'm not quite sure of how big a cut we're talking about or not talking about, and how big a focus. I think it's a real focus on the Port Adelaide community. That's what I think, and that's what I've understood all the way through, that we want to remain strong to the community, and what Keith is trying to do is get the best of that to happen for our football club and for our people, our Port Adelaide people. We love Port Adelaide, and we want to maintain as much of Port Adelaide as we possibly can, and hopefully we can do that. But as I said, I haven't seen the whole lot, so I can't tell you exactly what it looks like.
How's support been from the public, I guess, in the lead up to this game? Is that what you'd expect?
I think our Port Adelaide people have been really strong, and they want us obviously to do really well, and it's pleasing to hear the numbers that are going over and all those sorts of things. And look, I think you always love having your footy fans on your side, and we've got that, and we've been really lucky that this year I think the Port Adelaide fans have come out in big numbers, and they've been really supportive of us, and I can just see they've grown all year. The important part about your footy club is you've got to stay there for the journey too, and we want all the Port fans to stay amongst it and enjoy this week and hopefully next week and the week after, and just be a part of what we're trying to do.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks everyone for your support.